Hello, and welcome to my studio. Come on in. So I'm super happy in my new studio. I absolutely love it. My wonderful hubby behind the camera right now was kind enough to agree to let me have the biggest room in the house for my studio, which is awesome. It's about twice the size of my last studio. So I actually have space for everything, kind of. Okay, so behind the door, I wanted to make use of every space that I possibly could. So I got this entire unit from the Container store, and at the top I've got some of my jewelry that I've made, and then on the rest of them is all my painting supplies, my resin and Mod Podge and sealers and all that kind of stuff down there. That took up a lot of space, so this is perfect. And then over here I've got my screened frame that I use for, be careful, careful. I've got my screened frame that I use for my earrings. And then here I have, these are just from Amazon. They're actually for nail polish. They're nail polish holders, but they're so useful for so many things. So I've got all my Distress ink refills in those. These two, I have two of these metal, I don't even know what to call them, metal large vases? They're not vases, I don't know, what do you call them? I don't know, these big metal things. If anyone has a name for them, let me know. They were very oddly painted before, so I've painted them the colors of my studio, and then I plan to have like a big mandala stenciled here to kind of go. It's kind of like a mandala blue gold themed room. And then moving over here, I've got two workspaces. So this is my one workspace. I use this a little bit more for work from Lunita's, my other job, managing the restaurant. So I do a lot of other kind of office work at this station. And then at the top you can see some of the vines and ferns and eucalyptus. So those are from Urban Walls, and they come in massive sheets, and you just cut them apart and layer them the way you want them to be layered. So they're very, very versatile, and I absolutely love the way that they look. And then scrolling down, I've got my two pegboards. Last time I had them beside each other. This time I decided to go vertically. And I've got all my sprays and Nouveau drops on the shelving. And then brushes and pens, etc., markers on in the little bins. And then in this desk unit, in the drawers, he always lies in the most ridiculous spaces. Right? You're a helper. So in the top drawer, I've got all my stencil butters and waxes and things of that nature. Next, I've got all of my liquid watercolors and also my polishes from Cosmic Shimmer. This is all watercolor palettes, pan pastels, and powder pigments. So the brushos and my infusions, etc., and some palette knives. Down here is all my inks that aren't up on my walls, so my VersaFine Claire, my Elements, my Catherine Poolers, and some ink daubers. I don't have, I'm trying to contain myself and not get the whole set of everything, because you definitely don't need as many inks as I have, but I definitely have a problem in that realm, as we often do, trying to get the full set syndrome. So these are all my different mixed media kinds of things, all my gloss gels, gessos, all kinds of, got some spray adhesive, all the different kinds of the mediums that you need. Some crackle paste and such. So that's on that side. Helper! On this side of the dresser, this is the drawer of things that I have not yet used. So whenever I get a new parcel, I'll open it up and pretty much put everything in here, and then I'll slowly try to use it in projects. This is kind of an overflow of that same thing. I plan on doing an album with the Stamperia Savannah. So I plan on using the Savannah collection, so I've got quite a few products from that collection. So that will be one of the next tutorials. Down here is all my alcohol inks, and I put random pieces in here that I think would make really cool textures on projects, not necessarily with alcohol ink, but with whatever. So I've got some random bits and bobs that I throw in there for texture. This is my electronics drawer. I've got my camera stuff and my label maker and that kind of thing in there, batteries and such. And then down here is a foil and a foil machine that I've not yet used, and some Simon Hurley stamping foam, which I also have not tried yet. I get very excited about products and buy them, and sometimes it takes me a little while to use them, but I do get very excited, and that's why this is the area that I always go to when I'm like, okay, you need to create something and make something out of some of the things you bought and are still in packages. Moving on, this is the Happy Rainbow wall. I just really wanted some rainbow action in the room, so this is my Distress ink wall, again with the nail polish holders. Over here I've got a lunar sun shelf with some really nice crystals just as inspiration. And more of my Urban Walls decor up there. I just love it so much. And then moving down, this little trolley holds all of my cards that I've made that have not yet been given away to anyone. And then on the second shelf is all my mats, my like multimedia type of mats, non-stick mats. And down here I think is just randoms. The stuff you don't know what to do with. There's always a few of those. And then this is my other workspace, my main workspace where I film from. So this is where the sun gets very odd here as it sets, and so it creates this crazy shadow line all the way across my desk. So I have, most of the time I have this up, but then when the shadow comes I tend to put this down. So the window ledge is very useful. I use it for all of my scissors and brushes and all that sort of thing, and all of the vessels that they're in are some of my mugs that I've made with alcohol ink, so this is what I use them for. And if you would like to see a tutorial on how to make those mugs, then I will link that up above and down below in the description so you can check that out. I have two, what are they called?
It's a countertop.
Thanks. I have two countertops. Two countertops with some spacers in between. And I find this perfect for all the things that I use a lot. My scoreboard, my paper trimmer, my ATG gun, like all those kinds of things that I'm constantly reaching for, but that take up a lot of room. So I just shove them in here as I'm working. I've got my baby wipes, my gloves, which as you all know I usually forget about And then some embossing powders over here in containers. So that's what's there. And these drawers, so these are the drawers that I most use. So this is just paper scraps that whenever I need a scrap of paper, that's where I get it from. Here is all of my sentiments that have already been created, my sentiment strips. Like whenever I stamp something, I stamp it multiple times and put it in here. I've got a lot of pieces that are already ready made on adhesive backed paper. So whenever I need something, so you know, say I need a happy birthday, I've already got it die cut on an adhesive sheet, so I can just grab it and do what I need to do with it. So yeah, every time I cut something, I always cut it out multiple times, so then I can just go in here and grab pieces when I need them, just to make a card really, really quickly. And here is all of my envelopes and card bases that I can just quickly reach for. Right, I need to create a whole bunch more because it's starting to dwindle down, but normally this is completely full with card bases, so I can just grab those easily. Here is an overflow of metal bits and bobs for my albums. And down here is my wire working stuff for my jewelry, which I haven't done in a while, but I should get back into it. I've even got a piece that I've started ages and ages and ages ago and I've never finished, so maybe we'll finish that sometime. Alright, and then on this side of the drawers, in the top one is mainly office stuff, stapler, clips, elastics, all that kind of jazz. Next down is my embossing glazes and some perfect pearls and a few embossing powders. Then I've got adhesives. And a second drawer of adhesives of the bigger pieces that wouldn't fit, just randoms, because I know I'm going to have more, so I kept it so there's room. And all of my bling. Alright, so the closet did not have any doors, so I didn't want to have to see what was in the closet. That's where you hide the things, so you don't want to see every day. So I got these beautiful curtains from Society 6, I think it's called. They're really nice, thick blackout curtains. They're gorgeous. And so when I have them down, you can't see anything that's hidden in there. When I need access, I just have these cool pullbacks that I just do this with. And then I have access to all the things inside. Alright, so in the closet, up at the top I've got most of my albums that I've made, just because they take up a lot of room, so that was the best place for them. And then I've got some inspirational pop-up books, and then just random things. On this side is all my, I buy my envelopes and bags that my cards go in bulk, so those are those there. Here is a drying rack for whenever I'm making something that is messy, so I have my drying rack there so everything dries without making a mess of the floor. And then here are all of my jewelry bits and bobs. And then this one up here is all bits for metal embellishments for albums and such. And then here I've got a whole bunch of bottles that I've started collecting to do art like this. So here's one bottle that I decorated a while back. It's just napkins and paint and glue and air dry clay. And then this is one that a girlfriend made with me. So I've started collecting all of these bottles to do things like that with. And then the far corner is the unmentionables and the random things you don't know what to do with. So we're not even going to look in that corner because I want you to think that everything in my room is neat, which it's not. In this unit here, top drawer is all ribbon. Almost all of this ribbon is just from the dollar store over the years. The next drawer down is all the embellishments, so all the like stickers and random things like that that I use for embellishments. And then the bottom is all clay, so I've got molds and all my packages of clay and all the clay tools. So that's in there. This cupboard here, that whole section is all Christmas stuff. So I don't really open that cupboard except for a couple months of the year. And then over here is all the random things. There's a pasta machine down there for clay. This is all just thin paper. I use most of this paper for when I'm embossing, like underneath a piece, just to protect my work surface. So kind of random stuff. And then we move onto the last wall. Yay! So this is kind of my peacock wall. I had all this like peacock paraphernalia and I kind of just went with the theme and the color scheme. So I absolutely love it. I think it looks gorgeous. And then this area houses my main supplies. So all of my stamps are here, and I've got them in binders according to what they are. So got all of my Lavinia stamps are in here and labeled, or at least most of them are labeled. And then I've got humorous and uplifting. So this is mostly word stamps, so if it was funny or uplifting, it goes in there. So that's just kind of, a lot of people categorize by company, but I prefer to categorize by what the stamp actually is. And then down here I've kind of done the same thing with my die cuts. So I've got these 6x8 binders from scrapbook.com and then magnetic sheets. And so these house all of my Thinlit dies. So I haven't labeled them yet, but that's kind of like the floral random. This is all my nesting kind of dies. And then I've got all my like word dies here. So they're all sorted according to category. So it makes it much easier for me to find them again. And then, so this box here is just paper scraps. So whenever I do a project and have scraps, I just put them all in here, all the colored scraps. This one here houses all of my Tim Holtz, the large metal dies. The, what are they called? This basket here, I'm not going to pull it out, but it's just all leather working materials. I used to do leather work as well because I can't just decide on one craft. This one here is all of my canvases. So there's a lot of smaller canvas as well as big canvas. So I've got some thin ones like this, and then I've got thicker ones, so all kinds of canvases in here for projects. And then this one here is the randoms. I've got my torches, I've got a canvas that wouldn't fit, my Dremel machine, like that kind of thing in there. These bins, this one here is all the embossing folders that would not fit in my other system of storage. And here is wooden laser cut pieces, chipboard pieces. So yeah, chipboard, no, did I say wood? Yeah, okay, so laser chipboard pieces. Down in these units here, so I've got all my napkins in the top one. I've got, oh, you shouldn't be seeing this drawer. This is the gift drawer. So every month I buy a couple things for gifts, so I put them in there, so I choose your gifts from there. These are all my background stamps, so I decided to keep my background stamps in a separate place. Here, this bottom drawer is all paper. So almost all this paper is something that I've used for previous projects, so those are the remains of those paper packs. The next one, I've got washi tape in the top drawer. The second drawer, so I did an IKEA hack here, and normally this would be 2 small drawers, but I wanted a deeper drawer. So I took the bottom out of this top drawer and then attached these 2 together just with some pieces of wood on the sides here. So this holds all my 6x6 pads, and these are the wooden laser cut embellishments down in this bin. And again down here, this is just more paper. Over here, this is all watercolor paper in the top drawer. The next one is acetate and vellum and Yupo, all that kind of stuff, like black Yupo, all my fancy alcohol ink kind of papers. Down here is my gel presses and my Misty. And again, down here, more paper. And then, because we don't have enough, these are the paper collections that I haven't used very much of, so they're the ones that I would grab first. And then colored cardstock. In this door here, this is Yupo paper, this is Nina Solar White cardstock, and then black cardstock. So this is like my main stash of cardstock. And then down there is again just more of the same, more cardstocks. Over here, I've got all of my flower embellishments are down in this bin. I don't use flowers very often, but those are all the flowers in there. This one is random bits, mostly for like acrylic pouring. Tyvek here, and then inside this is more envelopes and such like that. This is, I'm not sure if this is gonna stay this way. I don't know, I haven't decided if it's gonna work, but this is all of my 6x6 embossing folders. So I've got them all in these 6x6 sleeves, which are really cool. So it kind of helps me find them. If they're not 6x6 though, they do move around a little bit inside the pages. So I haven't decided completely if that's how it's gonna stay. This is my 12x12 binder with all of my stencils. So I've got all my 6x6 or all my 12x12 stencils at the beginning, and then I've got kind of goes down in size, and then eventually I have more 6x6. Where are they? I have a lot of stencils, and then I've got more 6x6 sheets with the 6x6 stencils. So, and a little bit of room to grow. So that's I'm trying to do everything in binders, and I'm gonna see how I like this system. And then this is my project picker, which you all have probably seen by now. If you haven't seen this and you don't know what it is, I will link that video above as well. It's a kind of like an idea binder, which is very, very fun. So I will link that above as well. And then lastly, this is my overstock. This is the bigger dies and stamps that wouldn't fit in any of the sleeves that I had. So kind of figuring out what to do with them. Right now they're just in this basket. They probably won't stay that way, but I haven't figured out what to do with them quite yet, so this is where they sit for now. So yeah, and then we're back to the beginning again. So this is my studio, and I feel very inspired here, and I'm super, super stoked on it, and I think it's amazing and beautiful, and I love spending time in here. So you don't need all the supplies that I have, you just need a space that you love and that inspires you. So yay! I hope you enjoyed my tour, and I love you all, and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye! Hugs!
Babe, you're in the way of the star.
I'm in the way of the star.
Yeah.
I'm the star.
The star of the show.
Oh. Yeah, he'll probably just be there the entire time. I already got a few shots of him too.